Who's up late with Niner sickness. Let's talk 49er football after dark. Niner sickness edition. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Niner Sickness with the Niner Sickness podcast. How's everybody doing tonight? Late night. I like to call it 49ers After Dark Niner Sickness edition. What's going on, Niner? What's going on? Let me make this a little bit bigger. Let's see here. There we go. How's everybody doing? Who is up late? Let's talk a little football. Nathaniel. What's up, Nathaniel? Good morning, bro. It is late here, but it's early morning where you're at, my brother. How you doing? Welcome to the Niners Sickness podcast. Before we proceed, do me a favor, guys. Make sure to wipe your feet and smash that like button for your boy Niner Sickness. Would appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button for your boy Niner Sickness. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So it's been a minute. I haven't been on here. It's been a minute. It has been a minute since I come on. I took a couple of days off, Memorial Day weekend. So I was off for a few days, enjoyed myself, had a wonderful Memorial Day 4-day weekend, and spend it with the family. That's the best way to do it. But now I'm back in my home, back in my studio, ready to talk 49er football. Normally I was going to go live tomorrow or today, later on today, this afternoon. And I probably still will, but I'm like, you know what? Let me see who's up. Let's see who is up at this hour that wants to talk a little 49er football. As you know, OTAs will resume today. And today, I believe the media will be allowed to watch the Niner players play, and I mean not play, but practice. I want to ask you guys a question, and you guys can put it in the comments. Who is your favorite reporter? Who is your favorite reporter? Is it Jennifer Chin? Is it Matt Miyoko? Is it Grant Cohn? Is it David Lombardi? Matt Barrows? Who is your favorite reporter? Someone that reports what is happening in training camp and doesn't sugarcoat it. Tells us how it is, because we can't go in there, right, as fans. So I like to hear and watch reporters that actually report what they see in camp. So, who is your favorite reporter that reports the 49ers? Oh, right on, brother. Niners for life. Familia, brother. Familia. It's always about familia. So, which reporter do you like? Do you like Matt Miyoko? Jennifer Chen? Is it Matt Burrows? David Lombardi? Grant Cohn? Nathaniel says, I hope split this name. I spelled this name right. Miyoko. No, but I get it, brother. No worries. Matt Miyoko. Yeah, one thing about Matt Miyoko, he keeps it pure. I mean, he doesn't sugarcoat anything. He gives criticism to players, but he doesn't go beyond any line of boundary. Matt Miyoko is pretty good. People getting mad at Cohn is hilarious. These players get paid millions of dollars. We don't want to be lied to. We want to hear criticism too. And I agree. You want healthy criticism. I don't want to hear that a player is good when he isn't. I don't want to hear that this player is this doing Y, X, and Z when he's not. You're right. I want a reporter that tells me how he sees it. Tells the viewers, the fan base, how he sees it. Doesn't sugarcoat it. Doesn't put his own spin on it, but tells you exactly what he saw. If Trey Lance looked good, I want to hear that it looked good. If Trey Lance struggled, I want to hear that he struggled. If the rookies, they came in, Danny Gray, TDP, the undrafted free agents. I want to know how they're doing in camp. Are they getting better? Now, I understand it's still just OTAs. I understand that you don't truly get the correct information until they put the pads on, right? Once they put the pads on, you start to be able to get a better idea of what these players are going to look like. But I still want to see receivers going against D-backs or hear about it. I still want to see how the offensive line is doing. I want to see if Trey Lance accuracy is better. These are the things that I want to hear from a reporter. So one of the reporters that I listen is to Matt Miyoko and David Lombardi. I like how they spill their information. It is interesting to me how they bring that information to me. So I like to listen to them. And sometimes if I want to get some criticism in there, I'll listen to Grant Cohn. He's the type of person that tells you the way it is. Now, if you want something, I like to call it uncensored. If you want to hear things uncensored, Grant Cohn is the one to watch. Could I ask, what did Cohn say to piss off Kinlaw? It was difficult for me to follow. Apparently, it was something that blew over. It wasn't something that just happened that day. Nathaniel, this has been going on since Javon Kinlaw got drafted. Now, I don't know the complete details of the whole scenario, so I don't want to add to something that it's not there. But for what I gathered is that apparently Grant Cohn was a little bit too aggressive in his criticism towards Javon Kinlaw. And Javon Kinlaw came to a point where he had enough. Now, a lot of people have talked about this, and this is already old news, so I'm not going to stay on it very long. But because Nathaniel asked, regardless if you're fed up with someone, I believe you have no right to touch somebody's property or the person themselves. The fact that Javon went up to Grant Cohn and threw off his hat, it's not cool. You have to keep your composure. Now, I understand Javon is young, and how many of us at the age of 23 or 24, however old Javon is, imagine the things you and I did at 24. Imagine the bad decisions that we made at 24. The difference is it wasn't behind a camera. For a lot of us, cameras, at least if you're my age, there was not cameras on phones. You had to have the digital cameras that people normally wouldn't carry unless you went camping, unless you went somewhere to a concert and so forth. But people didn't normally carry cameras with them. Now you have cameras and recorders everywhere you go because it's on your phone. So I can imagine the things that we did at the age of 24. It still doesn't condone the fact that Kinlaw pushed the hat off of Cohn. He should have never touched him. You shouldn't make threats. I tell people this all the time. 2 wrongs don't make a right. I can understand you can be frustrated. I can understand that you feel a certain way about a certain person, but you have to conduct yourself in a respectful way, especially when you're in a position that people look up to. There are kids, 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 8-year-olds that look up to Javon Kinlaw. And even though I'm not excusing the fact that Javon is young and he's going to make mistakes, when you're in that position of as an athlete or in the eye of the public, you have to think before you react. Because you got to remember, people are looking at you. Kids are looking up to you. Was Javon Kinlaw justified by being mad? Yeah. Does he deserve to be mad at Grant Cohn? Absolutely. But you got to address things in a respectful way. You can't put your hands on the individual or their property to get your point across. Because at the minute you touch somebody or the minute you touch somebody's property, your point is irrelevant. It doesn't matter anymore because they're going to focus on your action over your point in the first place. Absolutely. There's certain ways to confront someone, 949. You got to do it to the proper channels. And The best way to, and I know that this is easier said than done. I understand this is easier said than done. But you got to, first and foremost, you got to calm down. You got to calm down. Once you gather yourself, once you're able to think straight, then you come up with a strategy on how to deal with a certain situation. But reacting to someone is never good. 9 out of 10 times, a reaction to someone's statement or remark will never benefit you. You got to compose yourself, step back, calm down, see things clearly, and then strategize. Okay, how do I get my point across where my point gets heard loud and clear? Because like I said, the minute you touch somebody or the minute you put your hands on somebody's property, whatever your point was is irrelevant. So that's the whole situation, Nathaniel, with Mr. Cohn and Javon. Now going forward, hopefully today in OTAs, I want to see myself how the corners keep up with Ayuk. I know that Debo's not going to be there, but I want to see Ayuk. I want to see the speed or hear of the speed of Danny Gray. Now, it's hard to really measure the running backs in OTAs because there's no tackling. And without tackling, without the shoulder pads, it's really hard to evaluate a running back. So I always wait for training camp. Once the pads go on, late July, early August, that's when I want to get proper evaluation on running backs. But right now with OTAs, I want to see the accuracy. I want to hear of the accuracy of Trey Lance. I want to hear the route running of Danny Gray. I want to see the pass breakups or INTs from these undrafted free agent corners. And even the corners that we drafted. Castro Fields, Samuel Womack. Who is going to win the slot corner position? Because it looks like Charvarius Ward and Emmanuel Mosley are going to be outside. You're going to have Jimmy Ward at safety, and you're going to have either Hufanga or Odom at the other safety. Who are you going to put in the slot? K1 Williams is no longer a 49er. He's a Denver Bronco. So who are the Niners going to put in the slot? And these are the things that I want to hear in OTAs. I want to hear who is stepping up in the slot. Because that is an area of concern. That is an area of concern to me. So who's going to step up? Who's going to step up in the slot and give me, a 49er fan, confidence that the Niners are addressing that position? What is up, Lucky? What's up, Lucky? Hey, congratulations, brother. It hurts me to say it, bro, because I'm a Laker fan, but congratulations to your Boston Celtics reaching the finals. And even though I think the Warriors are going to take it in 6, as long as you're in the finals, anything can happen. So congratulations to your Boston Celtics. Now go Warriors. And I'm not a Warriors fan either, but as a Laker fan, you know I'm not rooting for the for the Celtics. But welcome to the channel, brother. So those are the things that I want to see in camp later on today. Those are the things I want to hear about. I want to hear about the competition in the secondary. I want to hear about the competition at receiver. Who's going to be that third receiver? Is it going to be Danny Gray? Is it going to be Juwan Jennings? Is Ray McLeod going to step in? Because we know that we have Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, 1-2. But who's going to be that third receiver and fourth? Now, we're pretty set on 5 receivers, right? But who's going to battle for the 6th spot? Who's going to battle for the 6th spot? That's going to be interesting to see throughout OTAs, minicamp, and training camp. What is going on, Gabriel Hernandez? What's up, Beto? I know this has nothing to do with what you're talking about, but your jersey is tight. Where did you or how can I get one? No worries, Gabriel. I used to sell them. I don't sell them anymore. I might get back into it. I used to sell jerseys myself. So whenever somebody asks me the question like you are, I would say, I can get it for you. But I kind of stepped away from it for a while. I have so many things on my plate. But I might be able to direct you to someone. But let me contact that person first to see if they're still doing it. And we can go from there. But welcome to the channel, brother. Jennings. Yeah, I like Jennings. I've been a big fan of Jennings myself. I think Jennings has been coming along little by little. He's gotten better. He's showing the 49ers that he's improving, especially in third downs. He has converted a lot of third down for us. He still needs to work in his hands. But I think Jennings is going to definitely give Danny. A lot of people are saying that Danny Gray is going to win the third spot because he's Danny Gray. And I hope Danny Gray does well. I really hope that Danny Gray does well for us. But I'm a big, firm believer that Juwan Jennings is going to lock up that number 3 spot. Maybe you bring in Danny Gray at the 4th spot. Put him out deep. But I like Juwan Jennings, and I think Juwan Jennings is going to continue to improve and improve. So I'm looking forward to see his competition in this offseason. Is he going to get better? Because he has a fight. The receivers this offseason are pretty solid. We know Deebo and we know Ayuk are pretty much solid. 1-2, right? 1-2. They're set. But who's fighting for the number 3 spot? Who's going to get the number 4th, 5th, and eventually 6th spot? And those are the spots that I'm looking forward to hearing these reporters report and give you guys insight on how things are going. And this is why I look forward today. You're welcome, Gabriel. This is why I'm looking forward to the reporters being today at the facility to be able to watch with their eyes, take notes, and then report to us wherever you watch, whether you watch Grant Cohn, whether you watch Matt Miyoko, Jennifer Lynn, whether you watch, although Matt Miyoko and Jennifer have been teaming up lately, ever since Laura Britt went over to the baseball side, a lot of Jennifer and Miyoko have been combining together. So it's either going to be them, David Lombardi, Matt Barrows, Grant Cohn, and others, reporters that you may watch that I did not mention today. And I'm always looking, see, I'm looking for criticism and I'm also looking for information. What I'm not looking is gossip. I don't want gossip. I don't want a reporter's opinion. I don't care for a reporter's opinion, what they think Trey Lance looked like. I want to hear what they saw. Report back to me and report to the faithful what you saw in OTAs. Don't give me your opinion. Give me the facts. And those are the reporters that I like to follow because I want to get as informed as possible. Because I'm excited. I don't know about you, man. But I'm excited for this year. I'm excited about Trey Lance. The fact that Kyle Shanahan mentioned that they are going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo guarantees us that he's not going to be on this roster week 1. So for those that think that Jimmy might be on this roster, that he still might be the starter, it's going to be Trey Lance. And we're going to ride or die with Trey. We're going to go as far as Trey Lance takes us with the help of a great defense, great running game, great receiving core, hopefully a decent offensive line, great special teams, but we're going to go as far as we can go with Trey. Now, if we go far into the playoffs, hey, nobody's arguing. I'm not upset. But if I see Trey Lance every week and I watch film on Trey Lance and I see breakdown on the 22 and I see Trey Lance do better from the Bears game to the Seahawks game, and then from the Seahawks game to the Broncos game, and from the Broncos game to the Rams game. If I see adjustments, if I see that Trey has learned and he's made his adjustments and he's looked better each week, whether it is a W or a L, as long as I see improvement weekly in Trey, I will be satisfied. Now, do I want W's? Of course. Do I want my Niners to win? Of course I do. But I understand that Trey Lance is going to have his bump and bruises. He's going to make his mistakes. Anybody that is in the feeling that Trey Lance is going to come out and he's going to blow the world away, and oh my goodness, he's going to be throwing for 40 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards. He's going to run for 1,200. He's going to score 15 on the ground. That's ludicrous, right? You got to be realistic. You got to be realistic with Trey. Trey is going to have his bumps and bruises. Hopefully he has those bumps and bruises early and he starts learning and getting hot as the season progresses. Again, how he starts in September and how he's playing in December will tell me if we made the right decision in drafting Trey Lance. Not because of the wins and losses. Not because he threw for 20 interceptions or not. I want to see his footwork. I want to see his direction when the pressure comes from the left or from the right. When the pressure comes from the middle, when the pocket collapses, how does he respond? Does he panic? Does he step into the pocket and keeps his eye on the receivers? Those are the things that I want to see of Trey. Because statistically, whether he has 30 touchdowns or 13, doesn't really tell you the truth of the development of a player. How he adjusts from game 1 to game 2, from game 2 to game 3, and so on, will show me in the all 22. Is he learning? Is he adjusting? Is he observing? And that's where I get the confidence in how Trey's going to be going forward, not necessarily how many touchdowns he throws. What's up, Coach Dante? How you doing, Coach Dante? Welcome to the late night show with Niner Sickness Podcast. Decided to come on here real late to see who's up, talk of football. I'm not tired. So I figure I'll come on here for a bit. But those are the things that I'm looking forward in Trey Lance. I want to see his film. I want to see his footwork. I want to see how fast he gets rid of the ball. Does he make his reads? Does he leave somebody open? Did he let the pressure get to him? Did he get out of the pocket too soon? Did he step up? Or did he take off running where he should have stepped up? Those are the things that I want to see in Trey. That it's going to give me a clear picture of how good or not good Trey's going to be week in and week out. How he does touchdown to interception ratio in a game doesn't matter to me. If he threw for 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, we lost the game, but I saw some good things in Trey, that'll get me optimistic for the next game. I'd rather see that than see 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he's been running for his life instead of reading the defense. And those are the things that I'm going to break down with you guys week in and week out during the season. I want to break down what Trey Lance does. I want to break down what the running game does, the tight ends, the receivers, the offensive line, the defensive line, the linebackers, the secondary. The special teams. I'm going to talk about each game. And I want to see the strong points and the weak points on each game to kind of get a perspective on the direction that we're going. Now, if we have the wins over losses, I'll take it. I think Shanny will need to change his offensive playbook with Trey, as he seems to be relying on a pocket passer rather than more mobile one. But yeah, Beto, this will be interesting this season with Lance starting. Now, keep in mind, Trey Lance is a pocket passer. Trey Lance is a pocket passer. A pocket passer that is able to extend plays with his legs. Jamar Jackson is a running quarterback. Kaepernick was a running quarterback. Trey Lance is more of a pocket passer with the ability to move and get out of harm's way to extend a play down the field. What I'm trying to get at is when you see Trey move, he's running and looking down the field. He's going to be running to his left. He's going to be running to his right, but he's going to be looking down the field to see where he can throw the ball. Kaepernick or Lamar, as soon as they get out of the pocket, they hit the hole and they run. So, a lot of people are under the misconception that Trey is a runner. And he's not. He's a passer with the ability to move and extend the play. Now, one of the people that I kind of compare Trey Lance to is the late Steve McNair. If you ever watch Steve McNair from the Houston Oilers and the Tennessee Titans, his type of play, when I see Trey move in college, when I seen Trey move against the Texans last year, I saw a lot of Steve McNair. And I like what I see. What's up, Roberto Hastings? Welcome to the channel, brother. Welcome to the channel at this late hour. How you doing, sir? So, I like what I see in Trey. But let's get that misconception that he's a runner first. He's not. He's a passer with the ability to move, to extend plays. Kind of a lot like I just his name, I just said his name and just left my lips. The kid from the Texans, the Titans, Steve McNair. My goodness, I'm getting old. Good to hear you, Roberto. Good to hear, man. New season, same gang, with more improvement. I like what the Niners did in the offseason, Roberto. I like the idea that the Niners address special teams. I know special teams is not really talked about a lot, right? They didn't make the big signings. You know, the biggest sign they brought in was Javarius Ward, which I like. But all these little signings they did for special teams is really something that I'm excited about. Did you know that we lost, I would say, about 3 to 4 games last year because of special teams? If you don't believe me, I can show you the tape. We lost about 3 to 4 games due to special teams. Imagine what our record would have been if we would have had better special teams last year. So the fact that the Niners address special teams this offseason, I love what John Lynch did and Kyle Shanahan. They strengthened the special teams. Field position is everything. How many of you got tired of seeing the 49ers start in their own 15, 10-yard line when the opposing team was starting in their 30 or 40-yard line? I don't know about you, but that was upsetting to me. Now that we have special teams addressed, a lot of that field position is going to change. It is about time that we start at our 30 or 40-yard line because our punt returner or our kick returner makes great plays. Good day, Nathaniel. Have a great day at work, brother. Have a blessed day at work, brother. Thank you for joining in my show today. We did that we could this offseason in spite of Jimmy. So go good in my opinion. Yep. How different of a season would be had we would have beat the Titans that game. We dropped the ball on that game. Yeah, there was other games that we dropped the ball at as well. But definitely the Titans was one of those games. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting excited about this offseason. I'm getting excited about this team. Yes, we're playing a hard schedule. We're playing in a pretty good division. I wouldn't say great division anymore, but pretty good. The Rams are still the defending champions. Arizona, you never know what you're going to get with Arizona. And Pete Carroll, I'm not expecting the Seahawks to be a great contending team, but they play us well. Usually because of Russell Wilson, but we'll see. Even though we have a hard schedule, I am confident that if everything gels, if everything works together, and most importantly, if we don't suffer injuries, that is the key. That is going to be the key. To me, winning the Super Bowl is great, but winning the injury battle is even greater. If we can remain as healthy as we possibly can. I understand there's going to be times where players get hurt. But I want to stop the season-ending type of injuries, the ACLs. You miss 2 or 3 games, we'll work through it. I'm glad that we brought back Jason Verrett. He gives us great depth at the corner. One of the areas that we were weak at, remember Josh Norman? Oh, my God. Remember Fitzpatrick or Patrick that we brought in at corner? We were hurting last season in the corner position, and yet we still made it to the NFC Championship game. Bad special teams, bad secondary, and we still make it to the NFC Championship game. Imagine a strong secondary, a strong front 7, great special teams, and great quarterback and offensive play with our receivers, our running backs. We run the ball. We're able to protect Trey. Imagine the possibilities. Imagine the possibilities of this team. How far can we go? How many games can we win? If the 49ers play 49er football, their type of football, mistake-free, with the fewest penalties as possible, the only team that can beat the 49ers are the 49ers, in my opinion. If Kyle can call great game plans, and if Trey Lance can execute it to the best of his ability, if the run game gets going, I don't know what to think of Trey Sermon. I hope Trey Sermon steps up. I've seen a lot of tape on him practicing and learning his steps and on Instagram and, doing this and doing that. And that's encouraging. It is. But I want to see him on the field. All that moving around, and that's great. I mean, it's encouraging. But until I see you between the tackles against a defense moving around, that's what I want to see Trey Sermon. Can he do it? Imagine the possibilities of a decent, he doesn't have to be great, but a decent Trey Sermon with TDP back there. Elijah Mitchell, Jeff Wilson Jr., and this guy Jordan Mason. I like this kid. Keep your eyes on Jordan Mason. I'm sorry, Jermichael Hasty. I am sorry, Jermichael Hasty. But I don't think you're going to beat out Jordan Mason. We'll see what happens. Let's see here. How do you feel about the Niners taking on the Broncos? I believe week 3 going to be good. Again, The Broncos are a good team, but so are your San Francisco 49ers. And the Niners don't need to back down to no one. And this is not me being emotional and, oh my God, he's just, being a homer. No, no. This is me knowing we have a good run game, knowing that now that Trey Lance is back there, they're going to have to address the deep ball. The defense is going to have to account for the deep ball. So they're no longer going to be able to put 8 in the box. So our running game is going to get better. We added speed to our roster. We have arguably the best tight end in football. Pro Bowl receiver. A Pro Bowl in the making in Brandon Ayuk. Juwan Jennings, Danny Gray. Maybe Malik Turner steps up. This team can be very dangerous if they remain healthy and stay disciplined. I'm telling you, second year DeMeco Ryan is going to have a field day with this defense. We have a secondary now. Yeah, now we're lacking a safety right now. But we'll fill that spot. Whether it's Hufanga, Odom, whether it's we bring Tart back, we'll see. But I'm comfortable with Emmanuel Mosley, Javarius Ward, Embry Thomas, Lenore, Womack. Listen, I think Samuel Womack is going to win that slot corner position. You heard it here first tonight. Samuel Womack is going to win that spot. So now we have a good secondary that can cover. And if you can cover the receivers, guess what? The quarterback has to hold on to the ball a bit longer. And if they do that, guess who's coming? Bosa, Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, or Drake Jackson, amongst others. Defense wins games. So your question is, what do I think about the Broncos? I think the Broncos are a better team with the addition of Russell Wilson. I think it's going to be a fight, depending how much Trey Lance can do and how well our defense contains Russell. Will it be hard to win that game? Yes. Do I think the Broncos have that chance of winning? Yes. But do I give 100% saying that Broncos will win? Absolutely not. I think the Niners have a good 70% chance to win in that game. I'm telling you, if the 49ers play 49er football and injuries are not part of the equation and they execute the game plan, these Niners are going to be hard to beat. But everything relies on Trey Lance. Is Trey Lance going to make a mistake at a crucial time? Is he going to turn the ball over in the fourth quarter at our own 10-yard line with a minute and 20 seconds to go? And we're only up by 3? Or is Trey Lance going to be smart and not make those mistakes at those crucial times. A lot of it has to do with what Trey Lance does or does not do. What's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the channel. I believe in both sides of the ball. We got key players, and they're all going to shine as long as we all work together. Absolutely. Unisons. Chemistry. And this is the rapport that Trey is learning. I wish Debo was there, honestly, because Debo is going to be the number one receiver. So I wish Debo was there. I wish he comes to camp sooner rather than later. I think it's going to be very important in the development of Trey with Debo. If we started the season with Jimmy and Debo was doing what he's doing right now, it wouldn't concern me as much. But the fact that we're starting a rookie quarterback in Trey, it is crucial to develop a rapport as much as possible with the receiver. So hopefully Debo and the contract gets worked out. The sooner we can get him in practice, the sooner we can get him in, the better for the development of Trey and Debo throughout the season. So I'm excited to see what the Niners do this season. I mean, we start off a pretty good start of the season. Not to say that going to Chicago is an easy game to win. It's the NFL. Anything can happen on any given Sunday, right? Nothing's a gimme. But if the Niners go well prepared, they should come out of Chicago with the W. Then they come home and they get ready to face the Rustless Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks without Russell Wilson. We should be able to beat them. So by the time we face the Broncos, we should be 2-0. I don't want to be 1-1. Definitely don't want to be 0-2. But 2-0 is perfect going into Denver. Now, if we leave Denver 3-0, that is icing on the cake. That is icing on the cake. But if we happen to leave Denver 2-1, that's still not bad. We are still above 500. Now we come home and we prepare for Monday Night Football against the Rams, the defending Super Bowl champions. But we know this. No matter how good the Rams are, the Niners always find a way to beat them. We just overpower them, overmatch them. Am I saying that we're going to win easily? No. But that can easily go 3-1. Worst case scenario, 2-2. But then we go to Atlanta. I think we go to the Panthers, then Atlanta. Those should be 2 winnable games, right? So if the Niners play their cards right and they win those 2 first games, it is important that the Niners beat the Bears and the Seahawks week 1 and week 2. Can't stress that enough. This way, when we play the Broncos, we can be either 3-0 or 2-1. So I cannot express again how important it is to win those 2 first games. What is up, my brother from another mother? How you doing, Richard? God bless you. God bless you, Richard. How you doing? He says, Daddy Brunskill always manhandles his child, little Donald. I hear you. He does. I don't know about you, Richard, and the rest of you listening or watching, I have a great feeling about Aaron Banks. Now, it's not about feelings and emotions. It's about what the player does, right? But I think he's going to really fill in the spot at left guard pretty well. And we're going to be solid on the left side. Now, everything is on hold at center. Is Alex Mack coming back? Is he not? If he isn't, do we move Brunskill to the center? And if we do, who do we put at right guard? How well is McClinchy going to do coming back from injury at right tackle? These are things that they're going to have to address in OTAs, mini camp, and training camp. And these three preseason games that they play. They're going to have to work on that offensive line. Who's going to be the starting five? Who's going to protect our future in Trey Lance? And those are the things that I'm looking forward in seeing as we progress in this year's workouts. As we move along, we get better. These are the things that I want to see the Niners get better. And I want to hear the reporters. I want to hear the Grant Cohns. I want to hear the David Lombardis, the Matt Miyoko, Jennifer Chin, the Matt Burrows. I want to hear positive coming out of them. I want to hear positive things coming out of them from our secondary, especially from our quarterback. I'm tired of all this hate on Trey. I don't know what Trey's going to be. I don't know if Trey's going to be good or he isn't. But I do know that all this hate towards Trey is unwarranted. I don't know why people hate Trey. Why do people hate Trey? Is it because they fear what he can possibly be? Where is the hate coming from? What has Trey done to generate all this hate from all these talking heads? Now you have Colin talking about, well, if you hear these things about Trey, if you hear these and you hear that, probably it's going to be true. Shut up. Nobody knows what Trey is going to be. Not even Trey. And yes, he had an injured finger in his index finger, his throwing hand. And if you ever threw a football, that, my friend, could be an issue that can keep you from throwing the ball accurately. He says he's fine. He says he's healed up. Let's see what he can do. Williams, Bank, Brendel. Who's Brendel? Who's that player? Brendel. Huh. I got to look to see who that is. My apologies. But more McClinchy with Brunskill, Burford, and Sakel. Oh, and I forgot about School. School's coming from injury. I got to look up this kid, Brendel. Look at what Burger McFarland started. What did he oh my goodness. That first of all, anybody listening to this guy, please don't. He does, I mean, he's very knowledgeable about football, but he's I don't know, man. I don't know, when they become commentators, it's like they sell their souls to the enemy. And the things that come out of their mouth. The other day, somebody put on Twitter about fuel, all this fuel on Trey Lance. And I responded something to, don't quote me, but something to the point where you can't burn on empty. You need fuel to be able to burn. And the more fuel that is thrown at Trey, the more he's going to burn the house down and show the world of what he's made of. I really like Jason Poe. That little dude is a beast. I can imagine Kyle Shanahan having certain packages for Mr. Jason Poe. But he's going to have to make the 53. They might just move him to the what is it called? The you know what I mean? I can't think of the not the injury list, but the oh, I can't think of the word right now. But anyway, but I can envision certain game plans. Practice squad. Thank you. Yes, the practice squad. But I can envision certain, you know how they move Trent Williams from his left side to the right side in motion, how they send him in motion? I can see Jason Poe doing a lot of that motion from the guard position. Bring him in as a fullback or have him open the gates of the defense to allow our backfield to get into the red zone. I can imagine the things that Kyle Shanahan can do with a young man by the name of Jason Poe. Anyway, man, there's quite a man, it is 1:20 in the morning, and there's quite a few of you still in here. Amazingly. But I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to go ahead and call that a night. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night or day, and be blessed. Stay faithful, remain faithful. And I might go live later on today in the evening. I don't know. We'll see. But for everybody that tuned in, everybody that came in, thank you for being part of my show, especially at this hour. Honestly, I expected maybe 1-2 people. To see how many people are active right now at this hour is sweet. God bless you. Good night, and we'll see you on the next show. Peace.